Hey everyone, so I want to talk briefly about Buster Murdaugh. He's currently testifying in the state of South Carolina's case against his father, who was accused, Alec Murdaugh, who was accused of killing Buster's mother and brother. So I just want to give you my impressions of Buster. He seems like a very polite, well-spoken young man. He seems slightly nervous. He also seems like he's been really coached by the defense. So those are my interpretations. Now, if you look at Twitter and other places, some people perceive him as arrogant, entitled. Look at this little creep, And listen, I'm not trying to change anybody's mind. Everybody has a right to form their own opinions. I do think that there's been a lot of sensationalism in this trial. There's been more than one documentary, pointing the finger at various family members when there's only evidence of two family members doing wrong. Alec Murdaugh, with the crimes that he committed against his clients and stealing money, and Paul, allegedly driving the boat that killed Mallory Beach. But when it comes to Buster, there's been some rumors swirling around, which I've talked about before, about this young man, Stephen Smith, who unfortunately lost his life. I believe it was in 2015, in what was originally believed to be a hit and run. But then upon re-examination and opening the case, it looks like perhaps he was beaten to death. But they haven't confirmed this. And so there's rumors going around that Buster perhaps was having a relationship with Stephen and things got out of hand, blah, 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 blah. However, there's no proof of this. Absolutely zero proof of this. Stephen did say to his friends, he was going to meet up with a prominent man in the community, and people would be surprised if they knew who it was prior to his death. They were going on a fishing expedition. Now, here's the thing. When you talk about a prominent man in the community, I don't normally think of like a 19-year-old kid who's in college, right? So I've always wondered and speculated, and I'm just putting it out there, and again, this is just me speculating. Maybe, perhaps Stephen was meeting with Alec, or maybe it was another prominent man in the community that had nothing to do with the Murdaughs. We don't know because there's no evidence, there's no proof, right? But because documentaries, they have kind of artistic license, they can kind of run with this kind of stuff without facing consequences. So here's my thing. Buster is getting the benefit of the doubt from me because he's in an impossible situation. He has lost every member of his immediate family except for his father. And his father is on trial for murdering his brother and his mother, right? Can you imagine? I understand. I think any of us can understand, well, I don't want to think my dad is capable of doing this. And I think what the defense is trying to do with this testimony, with Buster's testimony, is to bring out the fact that Alec Murdaugh was a family man. He was really invested in his family. But here's the thing. Unfortunately, family men can do really horrible and heinous things to their families. We've seen that. Chris Watts, Scott Peterson, Jeffrey McDonald. I mean, the list of family annihilators could go on and on and on. So I don't know if they're scoring any points with having Buster up there. It will be interesting to see how he does on cross. They're currently on a break right now for 15 minutes. I just wanted to get on here again and say, leave Buster alone. My God, unless you have some facts, right, and some evidence, leave this kid alone because he's been through hell. That's my opinion. And like I said, everybody's entitled. But look into confirmation bias. I would advise the people who are just so dead set on, look at this creep, Maybe do your research and understand that sometimes the stuff that we see in these documentaries is very sensationalized. It's very one-sided. And a lot of people have came out and said, Buster's a good kid. He's polite. So you hear that side of the equation too. You just don't hear it enough. So anyway, that's all I really wanted to say. Until next time, be well.